What's up, YouTube? Let's check out some pickups from this week's new comic book day from February 22nd, 2023. There are some great pickups here, so I cannot wait to go through them. First up, it's The Dawn of DC with Superman #1 by Josh Williamson. Josh Williamson takes over for the Superman title, so we have this awesome cover where where Clark is changing into Superman. And we have this very awesome Lois Lane cover where she is now the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. Now, this was a great story, a very cool jumping off point. So we have starts off with Superman versus Livewire, and he just has this voice kind of telling him what to do. And we find out that it's Lex Luthor in prison, and because Superman has always listened to a few people here and there because he can hear everything. He's listened to Lois, John, his parents, Bruce. He does mention Bruce, and Lex Luthor. So he knows that Lex Luthor knows that Superman can hear him. And I think that's super interesting. We start off with a Supercorp thing, which I think is also what they wanted to call it or that's something. I've seen some stuff on Twitter that they kind of refer the Supergirl TV series, Supercorp thing. But this was a very great issue. I'm very excited to see where, because they did tease what's going to happen in the future of this series. Looks like we got some Brainiac coming. And it looks like we have a few new villains that they're introducing. It ends off with, you're not facing your enemy, Superman, you're facing mine. Because Lex Luthor really wants to work with Superman. Are you ready for the most awkward date ever? In World's Finest, #12. In this issue, we see Supergirl and Robin the Boy Wonder going out on what is called the worst date ever. Honestly, this book was so cringy, but it was so enjoyable because, we've all had that really bad date. This frame is probably one of my favorites in all of comics, where Robin is going out to the window because he is seeing a car crash that involves a monkey and bowling balls and an avalanche, and it just, her reaction is, are we playing charades? I think it was perfect. This was so cringy but so enjoyable. Their interactions and seeing Dick draw that he wants to be Nightwing, because at this point he's not Nightwing yet. And then we also see him and Bruce talking about can heroes ever have relationships? And the last line of the book is, does Talia have a sister? And I thought that was amazing. It was a really fun read, and I definitely suggest picking it up. We have Nightwing 101. This stems from the ending from Nightwing 100, where the Titans are moving to Bloodhaven, where they're going to set up as the Justice League there. This also stems off of issue 98, where we had Nightmite and giving Nightwing and Bitewing powers, and kind of the fallout from that. This was a very good read. I would say the past few issues have been really good. I would say this was a little bit off. Tom Taylor still continues to kill it with Nightwing. We have One Bad Day Clayface. This was a very, very good read. Basil Karlo is still trying to make it as an actor, and no one's going to get in his way of that. And he really just has one bad day. And Batman confronts him about it. And the ending is so tragic, and this story is just written so well. The artwork of Clayface just looks so perfect. It's exactly what I imagined Clayface to be. Honestly, Clayface could be a live action villain or backstory. I know people have said give him the Joker treatment, but it is just such a tragic story, and I think this story does so much justice to the character of Basil Karlo. We have Deceased, War of the Undead Gods. I never say that right. Issue #6. This was a really great story. It kind of brings back some of the stuff that we had gone through in the last issue. But the ending of this story, I won't get into it, is so bonkers. Only someone like Tom Taylor could come up with how this issue ended. I am very excited to see what exactly happens with this new revelation. And I am always here for more Tom Taylor stuff. We have the finale of Lazarus Planet. Honestly, I love how everyone's stuck out in the rain. This event was kind of wishy-washy for me. It started off really well with the alpha issue. There's been a lot of like just the sub stories. It's definitely one that I'm gonna check out again now that all of the issues are out. Well, actually, that's a lie. There is still going to be Robin versus Batman, or Batman versus Robin number 5, because there were 4 issues, but they were gonna do Lazarus Planet and then do the 5th issue, the final issue of that series. So I might wait until that book comes out and then reread the whole thing. But like I said, still not. It started off really well, but I felt like there was just a lot going on. We have the Flash 793, which I absolutely love this cover. I'm so glad I grabbed it, with Professor Zoom or even the Reverse Flash punching the Flash. So we get more of the 1 minute war. We see Team Flash really trying to figure out what the best way to kind of resolve the current crisis is. It looks like we might lose another Flash. We still see Barry reeling from the loss of Iris. There's a huge heartbreaking scene in this format. It really tugged at my heartstrings. I think it was a great issue. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 20. I did flip through this a little bit because I did see a panel from this issue that online that I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel about it. I still need to read issue number 19 from last week. But he states that, he loves Mary Jane, but, it feels like she's a sister now. And I don't know exactly what they're doing. I know we're going to get a revelation, I think in issue number 24, 25, with like exactly what happened with like Mary Jane and her like current beau and the kids and something like that. But the fact that Peter is saying, she's like a sister, even though like, there's this history of them being like forever entwined soulmates, is just crazy to even think about. We have the reprint edition of Amazing Spider-Man number 129, which is the first appearance of the Punisher. Honestly, I know I've mentioned this before, I absolutely love how Marvel puts these out and does like the legitimate pages from the original issue, just with nicer paper. And lastly, Thor number 31, another solid issue by Donny Cates. This one kind of reels off the ending of the last issue where we have Doctor Doom coming in the last panel, and he deals with Hela in here as well. This was a great story, and I absolutely love his work with Thor. That's what I picked up this week. Let me know what was in your pull list this week. Let me know what you thought of my pulls. Let me know if you've read anything. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.